talk about any psychiatric illness, they all tend to have a biological basis. And when we talk about the cause of any psychiatric problem, we begin with the biopsychosocial causes, that is the biopsychosocial model, which plays an important role whenever we are eliciting the causes behind any illness. So similarly, it applies to suicidal thoughts and ideations also. The biological cause that comes at the top, and the psychosocial causes, they follow the biological causes. And there are many neurotransmitters. When a person who is committing suicide or who's trying to attempt suicide, it's very important for all of us to understand that probably he is going through some negative mental state wherein he's not able to rationalize their thinking pattern, and they have a very distorted cognitive content, right? Their cognitions are quite distorted, and they're not able to take healthy decisions, and they are not able to have a adaptive, problem solving skills and good adaptive coping mechanisms. So it's very important that when a person is undergoing any negative mental state, there are certain, and a person, if he tends to have suicidal thoughts or ideas, there are certain neurotransmitters which plays very important role in governing our behavior, or in governing our emotional outburst, or in governing our anxiety. So these neurotransmitters, they have got a direct link, and these are the few neurotransmitters like serotonin or norepinephrine. They are prominently present in people suffering from depression or bipolar disorder. And when they are secreted in low amount, they might lead to onset of suicidal thoughts. Definitely, biological causes, if we talk about the biological cause, the neurotransmitters, they play a very important role. And if a person is having a low serotonin level, that is probably indicative of a symptom of depression, but that is not the cardinal symptom of depression. When we talk about the cardinal symptoms of depression, that would include decreased energy, and persistently and pervasively the patient tends to have low mood, and decreased and loss interest, or loss of interest in routine household activities which the patient used to enjoy. So these are the cardinal symptoms which are prominently associated with depression. Apart from that, uh, the suicidal thoughts and ideations which a depressive person tends to have, they are additional associated symptoms when we talk about a depressive phase. But yes, every psychiatric disorder has a genetic basis. When history of suicide is present in family, there is a high amount of possibility that suicide might take place in the generations, but we cannot say that genetic link is 100%. In many families, it has been observed, in many cases it has been observed that the as per the social learning theory, when we observe the behavior of others around us, we tend to acquire some behavior from them. So it is also not only the genetic factor which can be reasoned out, that yes, if it is there in the family, the generations to come in that family will definitely have a history of suicidal attempt or commit suicide. It also, apart from that, the important factor which plays a very important role is, if there is a poor role model in the family who has been exhibiting negative behavior patterns and who has been adapting to self-harming tendencies in front of their kids. So if you have if there are three kids in the family, so out of those three, one might acquire that negative behavior through poor role model. So that can also be a very important factor which we must take into consideration. Yes, genetic factors are definitely associated, but we cannot say that it's 100% linked.